I am a higher dimension life form. I am a complex space-time event.
I'm Anglican. No, stop it!
I'm a much bigger bang than you bargained for. I'm a lot more explosive than I look, and honey, I know how I look. Put a quantum chain reaction through me and I will shatter this silly little battlefield of yours into dust.
Moffat's back, baby. So here we are. Boom. Stephen Moffat returns, which is, I always found a bit weird because even when Russell said he liked to write an episode for Capaldi, he never did. But apparently, Moffat was one of the 3 people Russell called first when he knew he was coming back to helm Doctor Who, and Stephen just had to say, like, what if the Doctor stepped on a bomb? Like, remember that scene from Genesis of the Daleks? What if that was a whole plot? And it's pretty much it. So, this episode is sort of Moffat at kind of like his worst, but at the same time his best. Like, I think the writing is good here. But at the same, well, actually, no, I think the Doctor is good here. This whole time, I think Ncuti has had trouble sort of finding his footing as a Doctor per se, or at the very least having a stand-up moment. But I would say it's because this Doctor is happy from the get-go, and he's very open about how he feels. If you look at every New Who Doctor so far, they've been pretty close to the vest about how they feel. Even the 13th Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, is not as open as she likes to think she is. There's lots of shit she likes to talk about. This Doctor can't help but keep talking about how he feels. It's kind of annoying. But if you want to be honest, the classic Doctor was sort of that too. They're a bit like, hey, yeah, we're happy. We, have fun, there's no burgeoning sadness to this Doctor, which I think was such a pivotal part of New Who. But here we are in Disney Who. Alright, my hat looks weird. So maybe that's it. So anyway, we arrive on this planet, Krastos. The planet's name doesn't really matter, although the Doctor mentioned he's been here before, so that's great. This is Ruby's first planet, and it's a really great scene when Ruby realizes, first planet, the Doctor realizes, oh, Ruby, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it's your first planet. So it was actually a great moment. But the plot here is that this planet has been in a war, and it turns out neither side have actually seen each other. It turns out, actually, spoiler alert, one side doesn't exist. And the Doctor reveals this is all, when he actually steps on the bomb, he's like, I know who made this bomb. This bomb is made by the real enemy of this episode, capitalism, and I guess religion. Okay, whatever. And so the Doctor, to his credit, I think this is a really great episode, because the Doctor has to solve all this while literally being unable to move. This isn't just like a regular bomb, like from Genesis of the Daleks. This is sort of like a quantum bomb. It turns him into a bomb. And the Doctor points out, like, you guys don't realize, I'm not a human. I've got 2 hearts. I'm a complex space-time event. There's enough in me that if I go, I will blow up at least a hole in this planet. So I like that. I like the sort of stakes here, where the Doctor can't just, like, run and hope for the best here. The problem is, Russell mentioned that he wanted to include, like, the idea of death in this episode. The problem is that you've killed off one of the main characters, and everyone kind of knows nothing's going to happen to Ruby. And everyone knows, like, hey, there's like 2 people here that are going to be fine, alright? Now, if you put Rory in this episode, no one knows what's going to happen, alright? Rory's either going to die, be replaced, erased from time, and Amy's going to be sad, and, yeah. We put Captain Jack in, and Jack's going to die, and we're not going to care, because it's Captain Jack. We won't be surprised if John Barrowman's back, though. But anyway, this episode's sort of hard to talk about because it really is sort of dialogue heavy. There's a lot of emotional stuff to it. There's a lot of great moments with Ruby and the Doctor. This is how important the first companion is to the new Doctor. Because Ruby is. Ignoring the fact that this picture here is just a weird copy of Eccleston and Piper. It really is, oh my god. There's some nice sort of moments to it. Ruby's very good at thinking on her feet here, which we'll see later in 73 Yards, which I'll get to when I get to. Yeah, there won't be another clip of me in this hoodie doing that one. I might wear the hoodie again. My actual coat's getting cleaned. yeah, there's a lot going on here, but I like that it's all happening in one spot, one central spot. The Doctor has to sort of keep himself calm because his adrenaline will also cause the bomb to go off. So he has to calmly try to save the day as everyone is sort of wrapped up in the capitalist machine, because apparently the people that made this bomb made a whole bunch of other weapons for either side, and even like the med system here is like acceptable levels of casualties. Acceptable casualties to get you to want to buy more and to keep the war going so you'll buy more weapons. I'm like, so we're trying to do war profiteering. So that's what? Oxygen, kerblam, and now boom. Alright, so we're gonna put kerblam at the bottom because it super fumbled the bag. Alright. Then we're gonna put this one here in the middle because it's just so it's bad because it's just so pretty. Like, oh, capitalism's the bad one. This is if anything corporatism, which is also the real bad guy in Oxygen. Like, I get we're calling a critique of late stage capitalism here, but I don't think Moffat kind of gets it. I don't act like I get it either, but I sort of missed the point here. Still, the best story of corporatism, of space corporatism in Doctor Who, in my opinion, is still the Audio Davros. All right. Audio's brilliant. Alright. Great. Six and Davros. Love it. But anyway. Worst part of this episode is this kid, and I really want to like this kid. She's not a bad actor. Like, her performance, I think, is fine. It's how she has to act. Like, the whole story isn't going on around her. I get she misses her dad, she wants to see her dad, but oh my god, she's just like, stop this story. This whole story is actually about the power of dads. Which, to be fair, considering Mom did a whole Christmas special about how only a mother could pilot a spaceship. Points to Moffat trying to even things out here. God, Moffat. I love Moffat, but damn. But anyway. Overall, though, really fun. Why is Jinx Monsoon here? Also, again, this is another episode where this Doctor does not wear his costume. I really, really don't know why we're doing that. I think that's hurting him. And Godway has sort of implied that the third Doctor is a sort of like inspiration, or he wants to draw from that. And the costumes, I don't think he kind of, or at least the people behind the scenes like Russell and the producers and everyone else hasn't realized how different Gotwa's costumes, different costume per story or per episode doesn't jive with Pertwee's new costume per story. So for those of you that don't know, Classic Who is, I don't think I've ever seen a single story of Classic Who is just one episode. No, it's multiple episodes telling one story, and they're about 22 minutes each, if I'm not mistaken. So one episode of Classic Who, of New Who, or in this case Disney Who, is 2 episodes of Classic Who. So some stories go on 5-6 episodes. So when Pertwee wears that one costume, he's wearing that one costume for about 6-ish episodes, and then next story, he's wearing a different costume. But I don't think we're quite getting that here. I think we're just sort of throwing a bunch of color at it. Also, the costumes work because Doctor Who was finally being shown in color. So those vibrant colors really did sort of take advantage of that. Hey, we're in color now, let's show off color. Alright? God was just wearing stuff, and I think it's a problem. I think he needs a solid color, a solid costume, say, hey, this is my default. Alright? New and Classic Who did it. Alright, let's see here. How many times does a Doctor actively change clothes? First Doctor, not really. Like, once? It was the Romans? Second Doctor, Troughton had a hat at one point. Then he got rid of the hat. Pertwee, man of a, 4 suits? I think 4 costumes. Tom Baker, his regular burgundy, his standard with a scarf. I sound really stupid. Like, all 3 of them had a scarf. Alright, so let me try that again. His classic, the brown, the gray, and the maroon. God, I hate that last one. I hate that last one so much. Davison could not change his costume if his life depended on it. Colin hated that costume. Well, I don't think he hated that costume, but it was the polar opposite of what he wanted. He wanted something like Eccleston. Sylvester, like McCoy's costume, changed 3 times. The sort of cream color coat, the darker coat, and the costume he wears in the TV movie. McGann wore 2 costumes effectively. There's his regular one, which I really like, sort of modern take on Hartnell's costume. His Time Warrior costume. Then another one before that. Yeah, it's sort of weird, like, because Big Finish intended to make him be the one that did the thing during the Time War. Then Moffat introduced John Hurt, so yeah, had to change that one. Eccleston did not change his costume. Tennant went from brown to blue. Smith went from the tweed to the tweed with a big coat, then to the purple frock coat, which I like that coat. Capaldi went through 3 costumes. It was like 1 costume a season, not counting that beautiful coat he wore in Face the Raven. That chef's kiss. Whittaker should have changed her costume. Sometimes she added a scarf, or the shirt was a slightly different color. Stupid. And Tennant came back in a weird blue-ish stupid suit. He shouldn't have come back. But anyway, and now Gotwa can't seem to make up his mind. I don't know. It's whatever. So anyway, I've complained enough. So anyway, if you're new to the Bucket Thing, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. How to feel about Boom? It's definitely the best story this season, not counting what's coming later, 73 Yards, which we haven't fully finalized my thoughts on that one, so we're going to stop here. It's the strongest episode of the 3 so far. If we count Church on Ruby Road, it's still the strongest one so far. Although as much as I hate them singing, I do like seeing people have fun. I really do. And I think that was more fun than Devil's Court. Although Devil's Court had a great villain. Jinx Monsoon. Was a great... Should have been an evil Time Lord. But anyway, leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll catch you all later. This is Bucket Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching. As always, may your fandom serve you well.